Also, guess where we're going for this pose?
Guess where we're going for this pose?
Mongolia.
Mongolia. Oh, maybe we'll run into a Deinonychus. No, I'm kidding.
But no, today we're here to talk about Oviraptor.
Oviraptor. So egg thief.
Yeah,
I know this.
That's the point, though. So they originally found its skeleton on a nest.
Because we're still in misconception week.
Yes.
So egg thief.
Yes.
That's right.
And they're like, oh, well, this must be a protoceratops nest, so it must be trying to eat these eggs. But here's an interesting thing. The fossil is it laying on top of the nest. So a sandstorm must have come in and killed both it and the eggs.
And it was effectively trying to protect.
Yeah, because that's the point. They didn't realize, well, actually, they found a skeleton of a relative, Citipati, and they realized with that one that those are its eggs. So they go back to Oviraptor, they're like, oh crap, this wasn't a dinosaur eating another dinosaur's eggs. This was a mother who died trying to protect her eggs. So great job.
So really it should have been called Maiasaura.
Yeah, well, that's a different dinosaur.
That's a different dinosaur.
But also,
another episode completely.
Imagine you die protecting your kids, and paleontologists later are like, look at this child murderer.
I would come back and murder them.
Exactly. So I feel kind of bad for Oviraptor. Yeah, so that's why this is a misconception. But I actually did look at some statistics here.
Okay.
How big do you think Oviraptor was?
Oviraptor. I'm going to say medium size-ish.
Yes.
3 feet-ish.
Yeah,
4 feet-ish.
To 5.2 feet long.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
Yeah, and then 73 to 88 pounds. Because again, it's a bird.
The bird, so hollow
Kind of
bone
like
structure
thing,
and all that.
Also, this did live with Velociraptor, but it was bigger. So Velociraptor would probably be trying to steal its eggs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Oviraptor would have probably been like, yeah.
Raptor had been like,
yeah. Yes. But Oviraptor could have still eaten eggs.
Yeah.
Like, not of its own, obviously. But
Blue loves eggs.
Yeah.
Our bird.
Yes.
Loves eggs.
Because it has
Creepy.
you see, it has just a beak. This dinosaur actually just has a beak.
Okay.
And other relatives of it are believed to have, for example, one relative was believed to have primarily eaten like crabs.
Yeah.
So the Oviraptorid, I believe they're called
Oviraptorids?
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They would have eaten things like seeds and eggs and crabs and stuff. So this thing might have still technically eaten eggs, so maybe the name still applies. But like the specific scenario was just kind of funny.
Yeah. And so we know this one was feathered.
Yes. Well, honestly, if it's like in like the Oviraptid or Nithomimid or probably Therizzinosaurid or like
we're positive that it was
a lot of like smaller theropods would have probably had feathers.
Okay. Okay.
It's believed that most theropods at one point probably had feathers, even if it was just the kids had feathers and then maybe they lost them. Like T-Rex, the adults probably didn't have feathers, but like the children probably did.
For warmth and
yeah, the current theory is that like kind of like how birds have downy feathers, they would have had the downies and then grown up to just be scaly. That's the theory with like big carnivores, but like small ones they would have kept the feathers.
Okay.
And this is a safari figure. I'm not sure because the colors are just random because we didn't know.
Right.
I mean, and then I don't know if the feather distribution is exactly 100% correct, but yeah. So this is pretty good. This is a good safari figure.
Okay.
Safari just makes good figures, so I have like 80 million of them. So. Also, they're relatively cheap. They're like a single one's like $10 to $20 depending on the size.
Yeah.
Maybe even like $5 actually if it's one of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
So they're also my mom would just keep buying me them. More. Yeah. I'll be honest, that's kind of all I had about this one.
Okay.
Also,
colors we're guessing on this one, I assume.
Yes, colors
they
were
didn't
guessing.
have the
Also,
hominids or whatever.
it lived with Velociraptor in the desert.
Okay.
Also, Dilophosaurus probably lived in the desert, which is really funny that all of these are like. Well, you think another thing about Velociraptor and Dilophosaurus? We're like, oh, they lived in the jungle. Nah, they lived in the desert. Like the opposite of a jungle. So that's
that really, so these three also being feathered, because at night in the desert, it gets massively cold.
Yes.
So the feathers may have helped with warmth.
Dilophosaurus probably didn't have feathers.
Oh, okay.
Again, Dilophosaurus is a much more, like, older, like, Dilophosaurus is from the early Jurassic.
Okay.
Dilophosaurus is one of 2 dinosaurs in Jurassic Park that's actually from the Jurassic.
Okay.
The rest are from the Cretaceous.
Okay.
Of the original 7 featured in Jurassic Park, those 2 are the only 2 from the Jurassic.
Okay.
So that's interesting. Brachiosaurus and Dilophosaurus
Okay.
are the only two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brachiosaurus was big though.
Yeah, well, they're the only two from the Jurassic.
Oh, I got you.
Also, Dilo was actually big, like we talked about.
Yeah.
That's kind of all I had for this one,
Okay.
to be honest.
All right. So it's
One, I guess, Oviraptor. Yes, it's related. The reason that it's probably feathered, it split off before Velociraptor, which is like more the bird lineage.
okay.
But it's from like the same crown group. It's a different.
Okay.
So yeah,
All right.
that's what I mean. Yeah.
All right. Okay.